Alright, we're getting back on the vlogs here. I took a bit of time off to focus on mini cut there, dial things in, and a lot going on in life. But we're back. We're this last week of a deload here. Food's at maintenance. My weight actually dropped this week on maintenance due to deload and a bit more food, just some more stress drops, some cortisol. Water weight being lost that way and tightening up a bit more. We are currently on our way to the gym for our last lift of the week here. A little leg day, one set across the board and everything, couple reps in reserve, nice and easy into the growth phase next week here. So the goal on the deload is to keep a couple reps in reserve. At the end of this video, I kind of go in depth of my mindset, my plan, and what I did for this. But on this, we want to make sure we have at least 1 or 2 reps in reserve. On most of my motions, I actually kept 3 to 4 reps in reserve. Just focus on getting some blood flow down there, focus on recovery. I decreased my load or matched loads from previous weeks there. Not overdoing anything. I halved my volume. So what I mean by that is I took a set away from everything. So if I have 2 sets, I did 1 set. If I did 1 set, I just stuck with the set. I got rid of all my intensifiers this week. So like drop set, rest, pause sets. I also, on like 3 sets, went down to 2 sets, and I typically aim for the higher end of the rep range, a bit lighter of load, focused more on the tempo on all motions. So feel free to watch the rest of the videos or fast forward to the end of my breakdown here. It's just gonna be raw footage, no voiceovers on the rest of the video. Tuesday. We had our last day of a deload here. I'm going into my second growth phase starting next week. It was a very solid deload week overall. Now on your deloads, it's going to be person dependent and depending on what your goals are. Right now my main goals is hypertrophy, so bodybuilding. When it comes down to powerlifting, of course you can approach that differently upon the individual, how long you're growing for, how fatigued we are. I myself wasn't super fatigued. I was accumulating holding a little bit of water than I'd like, so I dropped my training volume, so I took a set away from all my motions, and along with that I also kept like 2 to 3 reps in reserve. I didn't progress in any motions, of course, on a deload. I actually stuck with the same numbers or even regressed, focused on more technique, messed around with some things. I've been getting a slight twinge in my knee progressing forward here as I got further on my bulk. So I was just messing around with different techniques today with my leg press, driving through the midfoot, just focusing on small little things. So I actually dropped weight on there. Now, when you go to a deload, the goal is to recover, right? So I up my food, up my nutrition, back to maintenance after my mini cut here. And along with taking some training away, it's going to be, again, person dependent. I actually dropped weight. I went down about 1.5 pounds from where I was sitting after my mini cut, so to speak. That's just water I accumulated over some stress, fatigue that I ultimately dropped off there. That's going to be person dependent. You may maintain, gain a little bit of weight. It's going to be all dependent on how you respond. But really focused on recovery this week, and it sets me up for success for next week here. So next week I start my big growth phase. I'm excited for that. I lost about 10 pounds in this mini phase. Strength held pretty much the same. A few motions got a little bit repetitive, but then from there, of course, we're going to back off and then slowly progress back forward there. It's my last big growth phase before either we get in tune for another show, or I may consider starting my first cycle from there. Big news coming up with moving out. New gym going to train out of, train personally and coach out of there too. So stay tuned for all of that.